Welcome back to The Rise. I am so excited that you're here today because we are going to do something that is it has the potential to change the trajectory of your impact, your revenue, your legacy over the next 12 months profoundly. And then because of that, rippling out into probably the next decade plus to come. So are you ready? I'm ready. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about how you can, and you will, economy proof and recession proof and political proof your business, your vision, your impact and income in the world. And we're going to do that by exploring a concept called the triple threat. All right, so let's get right into it. There is a positive association of a triple threat, which is a person who in the performing world can sing, act, and dance. So they're considered a triple threat because they can go do musicals on Broadway. They can do, big tentpole movies in Hollywood. They can do more artistic, this person that can sing, dance, and act can sort of has a range to play so many different kinds of genres and roles and in different mediums that they become undeniable. They become unstoppable. Like no matter what's going on in the arts world, like there's a role for them that they're going to likely rise to the top. And these are the people that EGOT, right? They get the Emmy and the Grammy and the Oscar and the Tony and all the awards. Okay, so that's what's considered a triple threat if you've heard of that in the performing world. There's another kind of triple threat in the business world, the entrepreneurial world, the coaching world, the thought leader world, which is what happens in the collective external space. And that is when there are times of economic contraction. There's things going on in the economy. We could say like a bear market, a winter market. When there is the second part of the triple threat is political. There's a big election that's going to impact, global events, global economies. That's the second part of the triple threat. And the third part of the triple threat is if there's conflict, war, or whatever going on. Now, if you're listening to this at the time of recording, we have all three of these things happening. We are in a triple threat situation, a triple threat environment. And what I want to do today is instead of that, sending you running for, the Netflix and your pint of ice cream, or if it was like me 20 years ago, your gallon of ice cream, and hunkering down and, just want to kind of ride out the storm and kind of put my head in the sand. No, no, no. That's not the kind of leader you came here to be. And it's not what's needed in this time. It doesn't serve the people you're here to transform and uplift. It does not serve the world. And it certainly will negatively impact you over these coming months. And you don't need to do it. There is another way, right? What's the other way? The other way is for you to become an entrepreneurial and thought leader and visionary triple threat. And I'm actually going to reclaim and shift that term to saying you're going to become a triple power. Okay. So when we're in a triple threat world situation, economy, et cetera, the solution, the antidote, I believe, is for you, me, us, those of us called to service, called to lead, to become a triple power. All right, so how the hell do we do that? How we do that is exactly what I'm going to show you now. And it's what I've been practicing, what I've been teaching to our Thought Leader Academy clients all year, and what we will be going 10x on into the coming 12 months and beyond, because people that choose this time to actually elevate and rise themselves to triple powers are going to be like those performers who can sing, act, and dance and play any role and win the Oscars and the Tonys and the Grammys and the Emmys and all that stuff. You will be the person that can shine, that can grow, that can expand, that can bring others with you into prosperity and success and impact and fulfillment during any economy, any world situation. So triple threat to triple power. So we know what the threats are, right? Economic contraction has effects on the world. Buyers, people who are going to invest in coaching services or programs or courses or retreats or, even hosting events and having speakers come in for those of you that speak, like all of that, what happens if someone isn't working on being and stepping into triple power, what's going to happen is they're going to kind of contract and go run and hide in the wake of that triple threat. So what happens is we have this huge dip where leaders and consumers are hiding. They're running into bunker mentality, hiding. I'm just going to kind of duvet dive, wait for it to be over, wait for the election or the economy to change or the world to calm down. And first of all, who knows when and as, whatever that looks like. But also you've got this, people kind of running down into that bunker mentality. You have leaders running down in the bunker mentality. And then you have this big trust recession that's also going on because of, people having consumed lots of courses and events and programs that didn't deliver on what they hoped and what they intended, or they didn't show up and take the action steps. So they've lost trust. There's a trust recession in themselves. There's a trust recession in experts. There's a trust recession in, investing in things. And so you get this race to nowhere. You get a race to nowhere. All right. And so what are we going to do with that if everyone's in this race to nowhere? And if you want to see a little graphic I created of this so that I could kind of look at it and sort of find what are the solutions, right? Because every time there's an obstacle, it's the way to the solution, right? That's what we're going to talk about for the rest of this episode. But if you want to see that, just DM or comment the word triple or triple power that you're becoming. And I will give you a new guide that's gonna, it shows this, and it's gonna really help you work through, like a workbook, what we're talking about today in the coming episodes. Okay. So just message me the word or DM the word triple over on Instagram at Sarah Cannell, or here in the comments, wherever you're watching or listening to this podcast. Okay. So we have this trust recession, this running to hide, waiting it all out because of the triple threat, when what really is needed right now is, if we imagine this beautiful fountain of light just coming up out of the nadir, the bottom of that race to the bottom, and we're rising up on this beautiful, incredible wave of light energy, and we're rising up to be a triple power. Now, I want to break down, and we will talk more about this in the coming episodes, but what is today is about, what is the triple power? If we're not going to join everyone and race to the bottom because of a lack of trust or, fears or what's happening in the world, and being reactive instead of proactive, we're going to rise up proactively to become a triple power. And here, I believe, is the best way to economy, recession, political, and, world event proof your business and your vision. That is to make sure that you have the presence and the thought leader assets, and that you are showing up in a way at the places where your people, even though they're kind of hiding and, hiding out down here, where they still are consuming content, and that you have the resources for them to know in a way that feels safe to them in a triple threat experience, to feel and radiate in your triple power and rise with you. So what are those assets? I believe those assets are your book, which is your flag in the ground. I'm an authority on this topic. I'm an expert. I have, my absolute, methodology and conviction and brilliance sort of right here in writing. I wrote the book on it. The second part of your triple power is you are speaking, whether you're speaking in videos, whether you're guest speaking, whether you're going on podcasts, whether you are, making content on YouTube, whether you are on stages, whether you're on virtual stages, you are using your voice right now. Is going to be so important to have that note of power instead of fear. It's going to come down to power instead of fear, not power over, helping ignite the power in each person, that they do not have to race to the bottom, that they can rise, but they can't do it unless you rise first. They need to see someone do it. Okay. I've talked a lot about Diana Nyad and her epic 8 attempts to go from Cuba to Florida in an open water unassisted swim, and how, and it was like people, not just swimmers, needed to see her do that. Not even just athletes needed to see Diana Nyad make that swim. I needed to see it. I have no interest in getting in open water with sharks. No, thank you. Hard pass. Not interested. My son wants to go diving with sharks. So maybe at some point I will get, lured into it. But the point is, I need to see someone who is at an age, 60 plus, when people say, oh, you can't, do anything epic anymore, you're done. I need to see a woman who was told, oh, a woman could never do that. I need to see someone who overcame trauma in her life and used this challenge and used this dream and this vision to burn off all the pain and trauma that she experienced, as a child. Like, I needed to see Diane and I do that for all those reasons and more. And millions of people around the world did too. People need to see you rise right now. They need to see you rise into your triple power. What's the third part of the triple power, right? You have a book, you're out speaking, and then you are offering additional transformation through some kind of program, product, or service. Those of you in Thought Leader Academy who train with me, you know this very, very well, right? Right. And there are five components really of this rise, which we'll continue to talk about. There's the triple power, right, that you get from being an author, speaker, expert, coach, doctor, whatever it is that you do as your expertise. And then there's, constantly your leadership and mindset and building your audience, right? So those are the full five pieces. But for your triple power, you're going to focus on, I want you to ask yourself right now, are these things in place? Do you have a book? Are you out speaking in some capacity to new audiences on a regular basis? And do you have a place to bring people who read your book and hear you speak to continue the full transformation? Because people will get inspired and they'll take a little bit of action from a book or a talk, but likely they are going to need your program, your course, your retreat, your membership, your whatever else it is. And if you do not have those three things in place, then please, please, please message me the word triple so that we can make sure to do a triple power session with you to make sure that our team can support you in absolutely having a plan to put these triple pieces in place right now, immediately. It's like Monopoly. Do not pass go. Do not, like right now, immediately. This is the work. This is the work to rise at a time. And here's the great part, because so many people are racing to the bottom. When you choose to rise to the top, when you choose to rise your power so that others can remember their power and step into their power, you will be the person that people will invest in during this time, even though maybe they're extra choosy and extra sort of mindful and conscious of what they're doing. You will be the person that people will come to, and they will watch your lives and they will read your book and they will come hear you speak because you didn't race them to the bottom. This is the key. So what's your homework from today? All we're doing for this week is for you to ask yourself an inventory. Do I have a book that really showcases my expertise now, or when I bring people? Am I out speaking to new audiences on a regular basis? And number three, am I leading people somewhere where I can continue the transformation in some kind of way? Coaching, a group, a membership, a retreat, a course, a class, a workshop. It doesn't matter what it is, that there's somewhere that someone can go. Why else is this so important to be a triple power? Well, think about, let's do some final stats here. Right now, research is showing that people need somewhere around 7 to 9 hours of interactive time with you. If you have to do that one-on-one, person by person, that's going to cap you very, very quickly and create a barrier in this triple threat time that's not going to serve you. But if someone can read your book, and especially the way we teach books, right? And so if you message the word triple, then you'll get, the guide to become a triple power, join the top 1% of thought leaders this year. And you're going to, you'll get access to our team to help you with your triple power assets, right? We will help you, we'll show you. It's free. Okay. Like, I'm giving this to you so that you can be the person that rises. All right. So if your book, and the way we teach books, is an interactive experience where people go from reader, passive, one way, into a relationship and a potential client with you, where you can nurture them and serve them and give them accountability and give them more inspiration, customize what you do. Okay. Then your book is doing that for you. When people read, like The Science of Getting Rich for Women or one of my books, and then go in the interactive exercises on our book portal, and they take assessments and they do the workbook and they do all these things, it's completely free, right? They got the book, but all the resources for free. People call and say, I would like to work with you. There's not a protracted sales conversation because people already know if it's the right fit. They've consumed many hours of time between the book or the audiobook and the resources that are there, and that is doing the work for you. You're basically hiring a salesperson in your book, right? When someone sees you speak, I think 80% of our new clients that have found us this year have come because they saw me speak somewhere. Sometimes a group of 4 people as a guest expert in a tiny group. Sometimes they've heard me on a podcast. Sometimes I've been in a live stage with 1,000 people. Sometimes I've been on a small stage with 25 people. It doesn't matter to me. The point is I'm getting in front of new places where I can serve people on a regular basis. That's part of that 7 to 9 hours of interactive time that people need. People need 8 follow-ups. Okay. So that's back to they see your book and then they get invited to your book resources and they hear you speak and you invite them to other things you're speaking and they need you to be top of mind. People will invest with one of the 3 people that most recently reached out to them or came across their feed in some way. That's who people will invest in now. Even in a triple threat experience, people are investing, people are looking, they are wanting to, especially now when they think about this next year and wanting to, maybe they don't like being at the bottom either, right? And they want to rise themselves up. So they are looking for you and what you do. Okay. So that's why this drill. And then we got to have somewhere to bring them, right? Because if all we have is the book or come hear me speak, it's wonderful. And you can make an impact that way. My God, those are the core fundamental tool, my books and speaking, right? But then when someone knows, yes, I gotta win. I like what I'm hearing here. This resonates. This aligns with my values. This is my kind of community. Then what's the place? So they make their full rise. They are not going to likely make their full rise from hearing one talk and reading a book, even if that book has all the good stuff in it, which it does. I hold nothing back in my books. Okay. Triple threat to triple power. So what are you going to do? You're going to message the word triple. So you can get the workbook that goes along with this part of the podcast series that we're in, and you can do the work alongside that'll be training you. I will also make sure that we reach out to you and find a way for our team to customize what we're training on here in your rise to triple power over the next 12 months and beyond. Gets to be customized and accelerated and fast tracked because you have plenty of other stuff to do, right? I get it. There's so much. And it is easier temporarily to just take that well lubricated slide down to the bottom and try to wait something out. But you didn't come here to play that game. You didn't come here to succumb to a triple threat and to let it, contract you into invisibility. You came here to rise. You came here to be the lighthouse. You came here to be the change maker, the light worker, the visionary. And the way you're going to do that, I believe, the most important way you're going to do that over not only the next 12 months, but the next 12 years plus is to rise your triple power. I cannot wait to do this with you. I cannot wait to see. So immediately, before you do anything else, before you even finish and hear the outro music, message me the word or put in the comments or the show notes or wherever it is that you're consuming this, the word triple, so I can get you the next steps. I'll see you in the next episode.